the fastest and slowest selling cars for March of 2025.
You can see the fastest and slowest selling cars in your neighborhood. Just go to caredge.com/fastest or caredge.com/slowest. Choose your city and state, and you can see all the data right there. The number 10 slowest selling car in the month of March 2025 is the Alfa Romeo Giulia. There's a 216-day supply of this vehicle, over 1,000 of them for sale nationwide, yet only 212 have sold in the last 45 days, with an average transaction price of $54,000. Before we move to number 9, Pops, let's explain to folks the fastest and slowest selling cars. This is based on something called market days supply. What is that?
Well, the market day supply is the measure of the number of days it would take to sell all of that particular model of a car based on its current sales rate, assuming that there is no additional inventory added. The longer a car sits on a dealer's lot, the more motivated the dealer is to sell it. So that means there's a better deal to be had on an older car sitting on that lot.
So a higher days supply means it would take more days to sell because, well, there's an oversupply of inventory and not enough demand. And a lower days supply would suggest that there's not enough supply and too much demand. So number 10 was the Giulia. Number 9 for the month of March, that is the Mitsubishi Mirage G4, a 219 days supply, 3,433 of these for sale nationwide, yet only 704 have sold in the last 45 days, which is shocking because it has an average transaction price of under $20,000.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. For the people out there saying, I need an affordable new car, might not be the nicest new car, but an affordable new car under $20,000. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and yet you're not buying it.
Number 8 on the list is the Land Rover Range Rover Velar, 225 days supply, almost 2,500 of them for sale nationwide, and almost 500 have sold in the last 45 days. The selling price is steep at over $72,000. Then at number 6, we have the Volvo XC40, a 228 days supply, 8,708 of them for sale nationwide, and over 1,700 have sold in the last 45 days at just under the average transaction price for a new car, $48,643. And then an expensive one pops at number 6, the Porsche Taycan, and our first EV on the list with a 229 days supply, 2,224 of these for sale new nationwide, yet only 437 have sold in the last 45 days, an average transaction price of $143,000.
That might explain it right there. That nobody really wants an EV Porsche for whatever reason.
Now, number 5 on the list is the Toyota 4Runner, and it's important to understand why this is here. With a 240 days supply, there are over 6,448 of these new 2025 Toyota 4Runners for sale nationwide, yet only 1,210 have sold so far this year. Now, with an average transaction price of $53,000, you must be scratching your head. How could a Toyota be one of the slowest selling vehicles? It's because there was recently a tremendous influx of new 4Runner inventory to the United States. That being said, most of these vehicles are already pre-sold, or dealers are adding additional dealer markups, like this dealer at Toyota of Dallas, where they've jacked up the MSRP with dealer add-ons to over $82,000. So it's important to understand here the methodology for fastest and slowest selling cars can be influenced by a big tranche of new inventory coming onto dealer lots. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing here at the number 5 spot with the 4Runner.
I would think so, absolutely.
Number 4 slowest selling car in the United States, it does not have the same excuse as that Toyota. It is the Dodge Charger with a 241 days supply, over 7,300 of these for sale nationwide, yet only 1,366 have sold in the last 45 days. Might have something to do with that $54,000 average transaction price. A vehicle near and dear to your heart, Dad, the Mini Hardtop 2-door, a 242 days supply, almost 4,000 for sale, yet less than 800 have sold in the last 45 days. Sub $40,000 price point, though, which is exciting. The Cadillac CT4 with a 243 days supply comes in with 2,680 of this vehicle for sale nationwide, and under 500 have sold in the last 45 days, sub $50,000 transaction price. And then the Jaguar F-Pace is your slowest selling car in the United States for the month of March. 291 days supply, 2,740 of them for sale nationwide, and 424 of them have sold in the last 45 days. And they are asking over $70,000 for those things. No wonder that is your slowest selling car for the month of March 2025.
Well, that's if you can actually find a Jaguar dealer, apparently.
All right, then let's do the fastest selling vehicles in the United States right now. Number 10, fastest selling vehicle in the US. The BMW X6 has a 40 days supply. Even though the average transaction price is almost $90,000, there are only 688 of these for sale nationwide, yet 781 have sold in the last 45 days. The Subaru WRX with a 40-day supply as well. The Lexus GX, which we know is selling like hotcakes, with a 38 days supply. Toyota Sienna and Toyota Camry with 37 and 36 respectively. Dad, all of these vehicles we know are in high demand and obviously not enough supply.
And then you have the Yukon with a 34-day supply. And go figure, another Toyota or Lexus product, the RAV4 32-day supply. The RX Hybrid with a 31-day supply. And, well, I can't believe that Escalade, the Cadillac Escalade, only has a 28-day supply.
A 28-day supply, yet it has an average transaction price of over $116,000. And your number one fastest selling vehicle in the United States right now, the Lexus NX Hybrid, with over 2,615 of these vehicles for sale, yet 4,150 have sold in the last 45 days. That's a 28 days supply for that Lexus. So there's a really interesting theme here between your fastest selling vehicles. They are either really upscale, like that Escalade, or they're fairly inexpensive and very popular. I'm thinking about the RAV4 here at a $37,000 transaction price. Those are your fastest selling vehicles, either really expensive and really nice, or moderately equipped and fair priced.
And if you want one of the fastest selling cars out there, you better get to your dealership today. And if you want one of those slowest cars, take all the time you need.